One stop like a Walmart. We got the for the wrong sport. You know, you know. If you know about the port, though it's supposed to be awkward. If you know, you know. That's the reason we for circle round twice.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A minute or so ago, it was the veteran leader of this Seattle secondary, Cam Chancellor, firing up the Seahawk crowd that's in its usual full roar as he and his mates get set to go head-to-head with the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Robert Kimdichie in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one in the opening drive.
It sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Glennon. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now Glennon. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon. And that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's caught by Bryant. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quicker. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And I think the offense got it back. They did. Inside the 10-yard line, they avoid disaster.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll set up a throw. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something.
And that is caught. Cardinals. Dez Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Second and 10 now. Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They go play action with Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The son Reddick in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is end of the weekend in the NFC. And what they do know is they'll be playing at home come January, at least for one game, as they've locked up the NFC West. You'd love those top 2 slots, obviously, but 3 and 4, historically, really not that bad of a place to be.
No, because you're hosting. All right, you're at home, and you guarantee yourself that by winning your division, the first round for sure. And the other part I look at is, you know, you and I were just talking about the NFC West. That's a tough division to win.
Yeah, typically tough year in, year out, whether you're looking in recent memory or way back in memory. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Paul. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And the return will stop right around the 25. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're buried deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big...
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. Put them on the screen soon.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Cohen, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pick up there of 20 yards. This is Coleman, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen put 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
This is Carson. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. I think you have to say this crowd here in Seattle, this 12th man had something to do with that.
As well as the architect of this stadium. Combined with this crowd noise, makes it very difficult to run offense. And here, 2 points result for the defense.
It is deafening in here. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Caught right side, Gresham. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'll drop to throw. Right side complete to Butler. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Glennon now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On play action, they'll throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Janikowski bangs it through. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Mike Glennon now and the rest of this offense heading back out. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at that? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
They run again with Logan. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is...
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And out now come the Seahawks. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They'll go again with McKisson. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The son Reddick in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there. And it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, as this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Completes it to Dixon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. First target, first catch, and a first down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Dayon Buchanan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
His throw incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On third down, that's Logan. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Glennon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
They run with Logan. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. Third and long. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Glennon. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, fourth quarter.
4 down, check. Move the team. Sorry.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 49. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On second down, Wilson. Over the middle, and it's caught. Brandon Marshall. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, here's Wilson. And Miller with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Now Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw on second down. Wilson. This is complete. It's Baldwin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. On third down, Wilson. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Mike Glennon now and the rest of this offense heading back out. And right now it's all about probably just working some clock and enjoying this victory because they're up big here late in the 4th.
And somewhere on their sideline, probably the head coach allowed a little bit of a grin to hit his face because most coaches love to run other teams into submission, and that's what they've done in this game.
We'll see if they can continue and get this one into the locker room with more smiles. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way,